Observe, release, repeat. As you begin to really do this work, there are going to be so many things that you're going to go through emotionally. They're going to really be showing themselves in full force. I mean, even those old beliefs, and as you begin to feel more good, when those old beliefs do show up, they can bring you to your knees for a second. So, a good thing to remind yourself of when you're in those kind of random situations, if you can find that vibration, is that you're not getting rid of contrasting situations here. And yes, I am currently doing this because I am telling myself this very thing. I have been flying incredibly high every single day. I have chosen to be happy. I have chosen to focus on love only, and it has shown itself in miraculous ways. And I guess some would call it miraculous, but the reality is it's beginning to feel like normal life. It's beginning to flow so easily to where I speak it and it becomes. Now, on the other side of this thing here is that it really, really shines a light on the things I still have resistance around. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, this is a continued progression of work. You never just get in alignment and now you've got it and that's it, because life happens and we are still human, and we actually asked to come here and go through some contrasting things. Now, the other thing to remind yourself is the word contrast. It might have a bad connotation, but the truth of the matter is that contrast doesn't necessarily mean bad. Contrast just means different. There would be no outside if there were no inside. There would be no up if there were no down. Those are considered contrasts. Those are not bad things. Down is not better than up, depending on whatever situation you're in, I guess. But it's all necessary. So we have to first learn to not think of contrast as this big hairy thing coming to get us. If we maybe soften that a little bit by thinking of it as steps to better understanding something, because as I continue to get better and better at this, I am beginning to see the answers, the point of every single thing, and I am open and available and ready for whatever the flow has for me. I really feel like I've been in surrender mode. And this is the very reason why. Observe, release, repeat. Yes, you are going to have those feelings, because remember, everything that you've ever thought, everything you've ever felt, everything is energy, and it's constant. And energy is it doesn't die, it doesn't go away. So all of that shit that you were thinking or feeling prior to letting go of still exists. Still can, it's just dormant. So you could pick up that end of the stick if you choose to. This is why the work of choosing to be happy is more important than anything. Because your old beliefs are still there. They're still there. And the more you begin to feel worthy, you're going to sort of kick yourself in the ass a little bit, which again, talking to myself here right now in this current situation on this lovely Friday evening. You just have to figure out how you're going to respond to it, observe it, instead of reacting to it, because it could be very, very easily reacted to based on the things you've done before. Again, all that stuff is still active, so to think that it's gone is just fooling yourself. And to not be honest with yourself about what you're feeling is also fooling yourself, and you're most definitely not fooling the universe. The universe is responding to how you feel, not what you're saying, not what you're doing. It is responding to the emotion behind what you're doing. That is why It is not what you eat, it is how you feel about what you're eating. It doesn't matter what you do, it's how you feel about what you're doing. And this is the honest to goodness truth. And the reality is anything that stops someone else from being free, it's not related to source in this energy anyway. So it's against the stream. So that's how you solve that. Let people do whatever they want, and then as long as you're free, you get to do whatever you want too. Be a much happier place to live if we all just let everybody off the hook. So the more you begin to feel good, you're going to begin to sort of kick yourself in the ass when you have moments like of doubt. And honestly, you're going to feel a little bummed when you feel that slight dip in your vibration, because you're going to automatically think you're doing something wrong. You're going to automatically think you're doing something wrong. You're going to take a bunch of action like I've sort of been doing, I guess. As I'm working through this and talking to you guys about this, I'm working through this. That would be what all of the action is for. It is satisfying in the moment because you feel like you're doing something, but the truth is you might be making it a little bit worse. I don't want to say worse because nothing is bad. It's all necessary. But you're not helping the situation for sure. But you know what? When it does happen, you got to give yourself a break. No matter what happens, you have to give yourself a break. It is good that you acknowledge the emotions. That way you can observe, release, repeat. Trying to suppress it or ignore it, it's not happening. And don't even think you're going to say you're not going to think about it or focus on it, because that's just what you're doing. And the law of attraction just loves for you to scream no at something, because it's saying, oh, you mean yes? Here. I'm working through, though, because I'm really starting to feel worthy of this love that I'm feeling. And it's pretty exciting. So when I do have these weird moments, it's interesting, though, because I still continue to see my alignment, because I see the signs of the universe sort of telling me, hey, relax, it's fine. Whether it be a song that comes on or something that reminds me of this person, or just something that's sort of just, I don't know. I guess you just kind of set up signals when you get connected to the universe, and you know that it's talking to you when these signals come through. So it's really a wonderful thing to be in tune, because you are constantly getting the answer. Constant fuckingly getting the damn answer. It is your receptive mode that determines your ability to hear that answer. And that is the honest to goodness truth. We literally have magic powers. We can create things with our mind, if you think about it. I mean, if you want to think about being a superhero, that's pretty fucking spectacular, guys. I mean, we get to create things with our mind. I don't know about you, but that makes me feel like She-Ra or somebody. And I'm telling my age here by even that reference. But anyway, one of the best ways to regain control of this emotion is to acknowledge them. I don't care if you just have to just roll up your windows, scream and cry for a good 5 minutes, get it all out, just whatever you're feeling. Release those emotions and then start to work on feeling better. And no, it's going to be way too big a vibration from screaming and crying in your car to going back to everything's perfect and I'm fucking aligned as fuck. It's going to be a gradual thing. So you're going to go from fuck everything, bah, 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 to I don't have to think about this right now. This is going general. Everything is always working out with me. For me, there's constant signs of everything working out for me. Literally, the universe is playing a sign on my freaking music right now, or showing me a sign on my phone, or showing me a sign in life, throughout life and through my day-to-day life, where it's like, yeah, everything is fine. The biggest freaking sign, though, is that this feeling is not going anywhere. And I'm not trying to get it to go anywhere. You see what I mean? I mean, it's been a little while with all this pandemic bullshit. And again, I have to try to... I mean, I'm working through all of this, but the beautiful thing is I'm doing a goddamn good job because it's showing in everything in my life. Showing in every aspect of my life, including this one. I just know. I just know. And I don't want to go another bent about him because he's just amazing. And I'm 100% sure it's you, but we don't need to go there again. Do whatever it takes to feel better. Period. Let yourself feel that emotion. But man, when you see yourself spending a good 20 minutes on that shit, try to figure out how you're going to do something else. I don't care if it's smoke a bowl. Whatever is going to get your mind off of it for just a second to let that energy and that momentum subside so that you can sort of start receiving more inspiration to how to feel better and better and better and how to actually eventually just get your answer. It's exhilarating to know that you have the power to control your emotions. You are deliberately creating your reality when you can get control of those emotions. That is deliberate creation at its best. And that's 100% the truth. Do not think for a moment, though, that you're not going to still have situations where you're getting stuff that you don't want. Again, stuff that you don't want doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. I go to El Pollo Loco and I get a burrito and I don't want pico de gallo. Pico de gallo exists. I don't have to have pico de gallo. And I don't have to hate pico de gallo. I just say I don't want any pico de gallo. And I get a hell of a burrito without it. I sort of took the long way there, but do you understand my point here? Just because it's something you don't want doesn't mean that it's bad, and you can even call it contrast. It just means the contrast there is this is what I want, and this is what I don't want. Every thought that will ever be and ever has been will exist. So connecting to what you don't want is easy if you focus on what you don't want. Focusing on what you don't want should be this quick. Oh no, I don't want pico. That's literally the amount of time that you should spend on what you don't want. Because now you're on your way to get your burrito without the pico de gallo. I'm just saying. I don't have anything against pico de gallo. I just don't like the chunky shit in my burrito. That's neither here nor there. We have to understand that the universe is expanding itself and understanding itself through contrast. Which again is literally what the definition of contrast is. And if you look it up in Webster, I don't have the actual definition right here, but I know it doesn't say big hairy thing, big hairy scary thing that's going to stop your life. I'm positive that's not the definition of it. If you can respond to a situation instead of reacting to a situation, because a reaction involves emotion. Responding is going, huh. That's a response, huh. Or, okay, that's new. Reacting is, oh my God, fucking life's over. What am I gonna do? Oh my God, ah. Because you feel the difference in the vibration of, huh, that's new. To, oh my God, life is over and I'm crying and screaming about it. If you can master responding to a situation even if you find yourself reacting, if you can get yourself into a place where you can say, hey, wait a minute. Do I like what I'm attracting by reacting this way? If you can find that vibration somewhere in the reaction, you are going to be able to keep yourself aligned enough to at least see the situation for what it really is. It is a defining moment. It is just a moment of asking. It is a defining what you don't want versus what you do want. If you can maintain your vibration in the face of contrast, that's your step 5. Because I've actually become very good at it. I'm going to go ahead and pop my collar on this one because I have damn near mastered it. Seriously, I'm so in the flow. Like I said, I speak it and it exists. And it's clearly and really obvious the places that I'm still sort of a little resistant on, because when they flow, and then, you know, the resistance must show itself because it slows down a bit, or since I get to choose, the universe is still working on it behind the scenes, and it's just not time for me to see what's going on. I'm not supposed to be around for this part of the show. It's all about perspective. It's all about perception. This is step 5. If you can find yourself back in that contrasting moment and maintain that alignment because you know how it works, you'll be able to understand that contrast is steps to better understanding. Look, it takes practice. One of the craziest things I've noticed in all of this work is how much BS we have picked up along our physical trail. I mean, wow. Some of the stuff was taught to us by people that loved us, and I can only assume that they thought they were doing the right thing. It is absolutely possible, though, to change how you think about something. And it's so easy. When you find yourself in that defining moment, just stop for a second. Ask yourself, how do I feel about this? Or observe the emotion you are feeling. You won't even have to ask. Let yourself know, look, I really do feel this way right now. In this moment, this is a real thing because we live moment to moment. So what we're living, what we're thinking, what we're feeling is real. It's our truth in that moment. Acknowledge that it's okay that you have this feeling. Now, right here, this already stops that momentum in its tracks. Once you do this step of saying, look, I really do feel this way, and it's okay that I'm having this feeling. Because this is where we usually kick ourselves in the ass because we're supposed to know better. But we're going to stop doing that. Now, the last step or the next step is really vital because it's going to allow our true self to see our ego self. When you do this, your true self comes through. Question that emotion. Ask yourself, what is it about this situation that's making me feel this way and why? Now, if you're truly honest with yourself, you're going to start to feel the emotions dissipate. Automatically, by observing the emotion, you're taking back your power, so you're already going to slow that momentum down. But the second you question that emotion, you're going to acknowledge that there's another self that also, that's on the... another self that also exists that's the opposite side of your true self and has sort of been running the ship for a minute there now. And it doesn't really like being pushed aside like this, but why would I do anything else? Why would I do anything else when everything I want is speeding its way to me in such an obvious way? Now, as you start to feel those emotions dissolve, you got to fill that space with general statements to get that momentum going in the right direction. Now, listen. The only reason why I say that is, yes, you can't stop doing something unless you start doing something. The universe permeates. So you have to fill that space, or the universe will fill it with whatever you're vibrating, which could be good or bad. Depends on where you're at in that moment, because that could fucking change moment to moment. So when you feel that emotion start to dissipate, you start to feel the reaction start to dissolve, because it will, give it time, and hey, it might take longer than a few minutes. Don't kick yourself in the ass over it. Just start to slowly fill that space with the general statements of, everything is always working out for me. And I don't have to figure this out right now. I get all kinds of evidence all the time, all around me, that I'm on the right track and I'm on the right path and that I'm right about this. I've had a chance to let this go and I don't intend to. As a matter of fact, I'm willing to make a pure ass of myself to do it. I'm willing to let go of whatever it takes. I'm let go of whatever. I'm willing to start doing whatever. I'm not even trying to not feel this way. So, those are the kind of statements that are going to get you back on the right track in terms of the momentum that you want going where you want to go. You're going to start to feel it instantly. If you tune in, you can feel the dip instantly. And it's kind of staggering. Well, it's exhilarating when you feel the raise in your vibration. Oh my God, it's life-changing. It's orgasmic. But the dip can sometimes bring you to your knees because you are not only faced with whatever the emotion is, but now you're kicking yourself in the ass for feeling that way too, and you should know better. Repeat this questioning the emotion step as many times as necessary until your true self becomes the dominant answer. It isn't hard to get the momentum going in the right direction. You just have to stop it from continuing in the wrong direction. So my final thought on this is going to be, if you find yourself unable to distract yourself from this negative emotion, this negative reaction, get off the subject as best you can. Oh, it's going to continue to freaking creep its way in there. And because of the vibration you're exuding about it, it isn't going to be the positive shit about it. It's going to be the shit that you're fixed on about it. And you're going to say, oh, I'm not going to think about that. Oh, I'm going to stop thinking about that. Oh, God, I'm just not going to do this anymore. Yet, all of that is saying, I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking about this. So if you cannot do that, and trust me, there are going to be some subjects that matter a lot to you, and it's not going to be that easy to get off the subject. Just take a nap. Meditate. Have a bath. Go for a walk. Anything you can do to give that subject a rest for a minute so that energy can start moving again. Most of the time, you are the thing that's blocking it. In fact, there's no most of the time about it. You are the thing blocking it if it's not moving or flowing as it should. You are. But that's okay. Don't kick yourself in the ass over it, okay? I didn't mean to say that in a condemning, condescending, whatever way. I just want to say that should be refreshing to know and incredibly empowering. Because if I'm in the way, I'm going fishing, God. I'm sorry. I didn't know, and I won't do it again. Yes, I will, probably. But I'm going to realize what I'm doing, and I won't do it as often. And eventually, it won't happen ever, hardly. But once you get back into alignment, just give it another go when you feel the impulse again. You can feel when you're forcing something. Not only do you see it in what you're manifesting, and I gotta tell you, it's pretty quick. I mean, it's staggering to me because I've been doing this work a long time, and I'm just now, this year, and again, I think I'm just, I'm just flying on the wings of love, and it's taking me to everywhere I want to go. And anyway, because of that, this year is the first year that I get it. That I am seeing, feeling actual physical manifestation of everything, of the work, of my energy. And I'm understanding it, and I'm able to, I'm deliberately creating my reality, and it's phenomenal. And man, oh man, when it gets to where I see it going, I know there's going to be a whole new set of shit by then, but when it gets to at least that point, I'm going to take care of you forever, I promise. I'm going to just take care of you, and that's it. Again, I really don't want to go on a bent about him every single time, but he's playing a very big role in helping me understand myself, especially love, and the uncondition of it. Because, by all accounts, there isn't any reason why I should be so in love with him outside of him being fucking perfect for me. There isn't any reason why. I mean, in terms of, like, we're not dating. We never went on a date. We spent a few sessions together in the studio, and I've never been more sure that this is him. I've just never been more sure, and yeah. Anyway, so thanks again for listening, guys. I would love to start a discussion here, so if you guys have any questions, any comments, feel free to reach out. I'm working on getting things set up so you guys will be able to call in, maybe set up like a live stream kind of a deal. But what I'm trying to do is again turn these into a podcast that I can talk to people about, because I love this. I'm devoting my entire life to spreading the message of love and this and energy. It's my life's work. Period. And that flows through my music, that flows through my writing, it flows through my video, it flows through every single thing I do. And I'm so thankful for it. And I'm so thankful for you, baby. And don't mind me when I'm giving your parents some dap on that first Thanksgiving together. They did a hell of a job. I love you, baby. Peace.